So let's use approximations to do some estimation. But before we begin, I just want to warm up with a simple problem just to remind you of how to do approximations. Let's say I have 49,287 and I want to round to the nearest 10. If I want to round to the nearest 10, please note that since I want to round to the nearest 10, I'm going to look at the units place, which is 7. So 7 is greater than or equal to 5. So the rounding will to the nearest 10 will be 49,290 because the 8 will get converted to a 9. Okay. The same number, if I want to round to the nearest 100, I have to look at the tens place, right? Whereas that's to the right of the hundreds place. So if now I want to round to the nearest 100, so when I round to the nearest 100, I'm going to look at the tens place. The tens place has an 8. 8 is greater than or equal to 5. So that means I'm going to conclude that this number is going to be rounded to the nearest 100. It's going to be 49,300. And if I want to round this number to the nearest 1000, I'm going to look at the hundreds place, which is 2. 2 is less than 5, so I'm going to round this number to the nearest 1000 to be 49,000. So this is to the nearest 1000. So we are doing it to the nearest 1000. This is to the nearest 100. This is the nearest 100, and this is to the nearest 10. Hopefully this should be just a reminder of how to do things. So now let's look at a simple problem. Let's say if I ask you what is 1800 divided by 3. So here's a problem. I want you to figure out what is 1800 divided by 3. Well, there's a very quick way of thinking about this problem. I know that 18 anything, 18, let's say, oranges divided by 3 is equal to 6 oranges, right? And let's say 18 apples divided among 3 children is going to be 6 apples. So the denomination, we're really doing 18 divided by 3, and the denomination comes to the right. So now if we do 1800 divided by 3, we should get 6 hundreds. And that answer is 600. And that is the correct answer. Similarly, we can do other calculations. So let's go on and do some more calculations. So if we look at a problem like 45 pence minus 8 pence, so that's going to be equal to 37 pence. So now I can do the same thing and I say what is 45 thousandths. So I can have a problem, maybe I should change the color and say 45,000 minus 8 thousandths clearly should be equal to 37 thousandths. And so that means that I can say this in figures, 45,000 minus 8,000 should be equal to 37,000. Okay, and let's try to do another problem. Now let's try to estimate things and then approximate. Let's say we want to estimate the value of 2,934 multiplied by 7. If we want to do that, then clearly we want to approximate it, and maybe since we are approximating, so approximating to the nearest thousand will make sense. So we can say this is just 3,000. So if I have 3,000 multiplied by 7, clearly the answer is going to be 21,000. Just with the same the same principles that we had, that if 7 times 3 apples is going to be 21 apples, then 7 multiplied by 3000 has to be 21 thousands. And let's say we want to do an other approximation and estimation. Let's say we want to figure out what is 5423 divided by 8. That's something you want to think about. Now remember, we want to do a quick approximation. So when I look at the way we figured this out is we look at the times table of 8, because we are dividing by 8, so we are interested in the timetables of 8. So the relevant numbers are going to be, we are going to have 8 sixes are equal to 48, and 8 sevens are going to be equal to 56. So let's approximate 5423 to 5600. So if I approximate this to 5600, then 5600 divided by 8 is an easy calculation. It's just equal to 700, because 56 apples divided by 8 is 7 apples. So 5600s divided by 8 is going to be 700. So the approximations and estimations are as simple as that.